I'd say the term news heard around the world is an understatement, and it's more like news equal parts feared and laughed at around the world as nations react to Trump's second bite at fascism.
The First Minister offered congratulations to the convicted felon Donald Trump on his re-election.
Au fond, moi je trouve que notre rôle ici, au sein de l'Union européenne, c'est pas de commenter l'élection de Donald Trump, savoir si c'est bon ou pas bon. Il a été élu par le peuple américain et il va défendre l'intérêt des Américains. Et c'est légitime et c'est une bonne chose. La question, c'est est-ce que nous, on est prêt à défendre l'intérêt des Européens? C'est la seule question qui nous est posée.
From scathing rebuttals on the Parliament floor to policy proposals as a way to stop what happened in America happening in their homeland, here's how the world reacted to Trump's election win. Now, it's only right that I kick things off with some truth from my homeland. I did a full video on the matter, so feel free to check that out. But here's a slither from Green Party leader Patrick Harvey and what he had to say regarding Donald Trump.
The First Minister offered congratulations to the convicted felon Donald Trump on his re-election. Writing officially on behalf of the Scottish Government, he wrote that he is sure Scotland's cultural and social ties with the US will flourish during the presidency of a misogynist, a climate denier, a fraudster, a conspiracy monger, a racist, a far-right politician who tried to overturn an election result both covertly and by inciting violence. Words fail me. What social and cultural ties does the First Minister really think will benefit from a relationship with such a man?
And then there was this powerful show of solidarity from female leaders across the world. Standing with the women of America as their reproductive freedom will undoubtedly come under attack under Trump 2.0. And aside from his initial speech in the wake of Trump's win, Emmanuel Macron delivered a sharp wake-up call to Brussels on Wednesday, insisting Europe needs to prepare fast for the impending second round of a trade war with Donald Trump at the helm. The French president urged the EU to stand on its own 2 feet to avoid being collateral of a trade war between the US and China that looks liable to explode in the coming months with Trump's tariff plan.
Au fond, moi je trouve que notre rôle ici, au sein de l'Union européenne, c'est pas de commenter l'élection de Donald Trump, savoir si c'est bon ou pas bon. Il a été élu par le peuple américain et il va défendre l'intérêt des Américains. Et c'est légitime et c'est une bonne chose. La question, c'est est-ce que nous, on est prêt à défendre l'intérêt des Européens? C'est la seule question qui nous est posée. Et moi, je pense que c'est notre priorité. Et donc, ça ne doit être ni dans un transatlantisme qui serait naïf, ni dans la remise en cause de nos alliances, ni non plus dans un nationalisme étriqué qui ne nous permettrait pas de relever ce défi face à la Chine et aux États-Unis d'Amérique. Et donc, c'est un moment de l'histoire pour nous, Européens, qui est décisif. Au fond, la question qui nous est posée, voulons-nous lire l'histoire écrite par d'autres, les guerres lancées par Vladimir Poutine, les élections américaines, les choix faits par les Chinois en termes technologiques ou commerciaux, ou est-ce qu'on veut écrire l'histoire? Et moi, je pense qu'on a une force pour l'écrire. Nos économies sont fortes, nos pays ont des systèmes de défense sophistiqués, et on représente quelque chose. L'Union européenne, c'est 440 millions d'habitants avec ses 27 pays, et la communauté politique européenne, c'est plus de 700 millions d'habitants. Si on décide d'avoir conscience de ce qu'on représente géopolitiquement, commercialement, c'est une puissance inouïe. Il n'y a aucun marché de 700 millions d'habitants aussi unis par l'histoire, des intérêts, des valeurs que nous autour de cette table. Aucun. Si on se réveille et qu'on décide au fond de ne pas disparaître géopolitiquement et de ne pas être le marché d'ajustement des autres puissances économiquement et commercialement. Et donc pour moi, ce moment, c'est celui où on décide d'agir, de défendre nos intérêts nationaux et européens en même temps, de croire dans notre souveraineté, notre autonomie stratégique, et de dire au fond, on n'a pas envie simplement d'être des clients, d'être un marché qui est pris, de déléguer en fait à d'autres notre économie, nos choix technologiques ou notre sécurité, mais on veut pleinement se saisir de la question de la paix sur notre sol, de notre prospérité et de notre modèle démocratique. Pour moi, c'est ça les 3 défis de la communauté politique européenne qu'on a à discuter ensemble.
As we know, the president-elect has pledged to bring down America's yawning deficits by slapping duties of 10% to 20% on all imports and 60% on those from China. This despite countless economists warning that not only will it worsen the economy in the United States, it risks triggering even greater trade chaos than the tariff wars against China and the EU that shaped his first presidency.
So let's move to your second chart about what a Trump plan would actually do to the economy if implemented the way he's pitching it.
Yeah, so why are these economists so opposed to Trump's plan? Because the economic effects would be pretty terrible. This is a study done by Bloomberg Economics, and they found that Harris's plan did not have much change in either the GDP or inflation, which in a sense is a good thing at this point. But look at what Trump's plan would do. Trump's plan would cut the GDP by 8.9%. And let me put that in perspective for you. This is roughly twice the amount that the GDP went down during the financial crisis.
Wow.
So we would be looking at something between a recession and a depression. And interestingly, I'm sure people know because we've talked about this many times, the tariffs would cause certainly a part of this. But the biggest cause actually of this drop are the mass deportations that Trump is talking about, because he would take huge pieces of our labor force out of the country, send them back or send them somewhere else. And the result would be business wouldn't have labor. They wouldn't be able to produce things, and you'd have this enormous economic contraction. So this is something we've never seen before in terms of scoring a set of policy proposals from a presidential candidate. The other reason why Harris seems to be doing better or maybe doing better for her economic thoughts relative to Trump is maybe people are figuring out what's actually in these two plans. And one of the most important things in these two plans are the differences in their tax proposals. Harris's tax proposal would raise incomes for people at the bottom 20%, for people in the 20 to 40% percentile by fairly significant amounts. She would raise taxes for people at the higher incomes down here in the 99 to 100 and the 95 to 99. Trump does the opposite. He raises after-tax incomes for people at the highest incomes up here. And believe it or not, if you're at the bottom, Trump's tax plan would actually increase your taxes slightly. So maybe people are figuring out these kinds of differences and changing their view of her economic plan versus Trump's economic plan.
And regarding policy protection, South Australia are looking more so at a legislative approach to ensure that their country doesn't suffer the same fate as the US in regards to billionaires like Elon Musk buying their way to power. In a stunning move, one of the first of its kind, the Malinowskis Labour government will lead the world with laws to introduce a widespread ban on electoral donations, backed by tough penalties for those who seek to circumvent the law. Delivering on a key election commitment, the Electoral Accountability and Integrity Amendment Bill of 2024 seeks to prohibit the giving and receiving of electoral donations and gifts to registered political parties, members of parliament and candidates. Now, getting money out of politics has always been something that I felt is essential to preserving democracy and especially preventing an authoritarian regime buying unmitigated control, as we see with this current presidential election. But not just at the presidential level, right? Across the board, it is rife within US politics, which brings into question the special interests of politicians across the political spectrum. But it appears that Elon's $200 million super PAC spend to help elect Donald Trump was a warning sign for other countries to take action to ensure it doesn't happen in their country. And all this goes to further reiterate how wary our allies are of the impending Trump 2.0. Now let's just hope that more people will take a leaf out of their book and apply protections at the state level to mitigate the damage, because yeah, RFK Jr. might well be in charge of health.
We know to take Trump at his word when he says he'll roll back environmental protections, go after our immigrant and LGBTQ plus communities, attack our civil rights, and restrict access to essential reproductive care. Which means we won't be flat-footed come January. You can be sure that as California Attorney General, if Trump attacks your rights, I'll be there. If Trump comes after your freedoms, I'll be there. If Trump jeopardizes your safety and your well-being, I'll be there. California DOJ did it before, and we will do it again. During the last Trump administration, California DOJ fought to stop illegal rollbacks and proposals that would have harmed the well-being, the health, the safety, and civil rights of our people and people across the country. That would have caused irrevocable damage to our environment. No matter who is in charge of the federal government, no matter what the incoming administration has in store, California will remain the steadfast beacon of hope and progress it has always been.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Meidas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.